Hey, God is good all the time. God is great. What's going on, chess lover? This is Maurice Bishop Chess, and y'all know my slogan: life is a game of chess. Yes, that's right, guys. And guys, I want to share with y'all this Scandinavian Gambit opening. I love this opening, one of my favorite opening. It is crazy, guys. And can y'all tell, guys, I am happy as heck right now. Like, yo, I feel so happy, guys. Like it's just crazy though. But I will explain all that maybe in a live blog. I will explain that later. But as of right now, guys, I don't want to go over my time limit in the video. So without further ado, let's actually get started with this video. All right, guys. So the Scandinavian Gambit, how does it goes? All right, how to actually play it. So if your opponent plays e4, we'll play d5. If E captures D5, I'm pretty sure y'all used to the whole Queen captures D5, Knight C3, and then Queen A5. That's not a gambit. That's just the Scandinavian defense. Now, instead of going Queen captures D5 with the gambit, it starts off with the Knight F6. Yes, Knight F6. So a lot of times, your opponent, they're taught, that when you play against the Scandinavian, you gotta go D2, D4, gain control of the center, things like that, right? Well, in this case, we have Knight captures D5, but we also have Bishop G4, which is part of the Icelandic Gambit, which is what I was taught. With Bishop G4. You get a lot of people, they'll play Knight F3 or they'll play moves like F3. I'll show you the whole F3 part. So if they go F3, usually just go F5. And a lot of times your opponent will go C4 because they want to maintain the pawn on D5. Especially they can overprotect it by going Knight C3. The thing is, if they go C4, then you could immediately just go E6, break up this pawn chain, right? Break up the center. With this move, E6, if they take, instead of taking back, we'll just go Knight C6. Now, 99% of the time, anytime you go Knight C6 and they see a pawn on E6, they're going to want to take your pawn on F7 because they don't want you to castle. And they feel as though if you can't castle, then maybe I can come up with an attack and maybe attack your king. But obviously, guys, it never really happens that way. After E captures F7, king captures. Notice that black has 3 pieces developed. White has no pieces developed at all whatsoever. It's just crazy, right? So after king captures F7, notice that this pawn on D4 is unprotected, which is why your opponent will go moves like Bishop E3. After Bishop E3, Bishop B4 check, obviously checking the king. Now, if Knight C3, then we'll immediately go Rook E8. Why Rook E8? Because, again, we are hitting the dark square bishop. Now, a lot of times the king, they're going to want to move the king to F2 because they want to get out of the pin. Now, if they decide to do moves like Queen D2, then they will lose the risk of losing the center pawn, which is D4. If this happens, Queen catches D4, Knight catches D4, where we are threatening to go Knight C2, threatening with a check and winning the Rook and winning the dark square bishop. But White can go castle queenside, but the problem with this, we'll take the dark square bishop, Rook captures, bishop captures, B captures C3, and then Rook E8. And as you can see in this position, Black is actually better in this position because we're not cramped. Black is not cramped. If he tries something like Rook D2, we could go Rook D1. It's not like he could go King here because we'll just win a light square bishop. If that happens, then he'll probably go Rook D1 and then Rook E3. Now, if he decides to take, again, it's not making the situation better because we're going to win this, the light square bishop. So, if White decides to go King D2, then we can just go Rook captures D1. Again, he cannot take the Rook on E3 because we'll win the light square bishop. Now, if he takes this way, then we'll just go Rook captures C3. And as you can see, Black is actually a lot better because we are threatening Rook C2 where we could win this pawn. And then we have some nice pass pawns. And then this pawn on C4 is potentially going to be the weakest pawn. And we're going to capture it with no problem. Alright. But play accurately or whatever, Black will win this game. No questions asked. Alright. So, What do my opponent play? So my opponent after rook e8 played king f2. After king f2, I just hit him with the move rook captures e3. This is what the move that I know y'all love. Y'all love attacking. Y'all love all that. This is what I'm trying to bring to the table, guys. This is what I'm trying to do. All right, rook catches e3. And again, white doesn't have to take the rook, but if he doesn't take it, then black is in a winning position because he is up a piece, right? So if king captures e3, then black hit white with a surprising move, bishop c2. You're probably like, what the heck is this move? What's going on in this move? Well, it's bishop c2, right? If queen captures, then black gets hit white with queen captures d4 check. If king e2, then rook e8 check. And obviously, guys, it's really nowhere that white can go unless he blocks with knight e4. If this happens, we have knight captures e4. Now, white doesn't have to take the knight. He could play a move like knight h3. But if he does that, then he gets hit with knight g3 checkmate, which is nasty. It's like double checkmate with the rook, like in the knight, right? Crazy, right? Oh, man. So, but after knight knight e4, knight captures e4, f captures e4, then rook captures e4. Really, the only way that white could probably stop this mate from coming is if he just give up his queen. But again, if he does that, it's just a lost position. All right. But after, I'm sorry, guys. After knight captures, rook captures, if he goes king f3, this is just checkmate either way. Black wins. All right. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, so what happens if he doesn't take the light square bishop? What if he doesn't take? Well, if he doesn't take and he goes somewhere like queen d2, maintaining this the pawn on d4 or whatever, then we could still hit him with knight g4 check. Why knight g4 check? Well, if he takes, then we have queen g5 check. Now the whole point is if the white king does not go to e2, so if he goes somewhere like king f3 or f2, then you already know this queen is automatically going to be lost, right? But however, if he decides to go king e2, then the rook on e8 check is coming, and again, this white king has to move because this queen is automatically going to be lost either way. If he comes here, queen lost, and even if he does something like knight e4, again, this is even a worse position because not only do we win a knight, but the queen is still going to be lost either way, which is still a nasty position to be in. All right. So you're probably wondering, okay, well, if that's the case, then, white doesn't have to take the knight. And you are absolutely right. White does not have to take the knight. If he doesn't take the knight, white could go king e2, and then we'll just hit him with queen e7 check. Now, why is this position bad for white? Because white cannot move anywhere right now. It can't move anywhere. But you know where he can move? The knight can either go knight e4, where we're going to take his queen anyway, or white can go move his queen in front, in which he would just get hit with a one-move checkmate, But most likely, it would be knight e4. But again, white is still going to lose his queen either way. It's just that bad. It's just so bad. Like, man, it is just bad, guys. But yeah, so that's the part of the F3 variations with the Scandinavian Gambit on that tip, right? Another one I want to share with y'all is the one with knight captures d5. Which is what I do want to share with you. So if knight f6, d4, some people like to play the knight captures d5. A lot of times when they play c4, I've seen it back in the day. They used to play this knight b6 and knight c6, or maybe sometimes c5. I don't know. I never got into all that because it reminded me of the Alekhine defense, and I just never liked it. However, what did caught my attention is instead of going knight b6, you could go forward with knight b4. So for all y'all that don't know this, you're about to know all this right now. All right. So with this one, and this is kind of like the modern Scandinavian Gambit type of thing. With knight b4, what happens is a lot of times white will fall for the move queen a4 check, thinking that after queen a4 check, white may go back to knight c6, and then white will get black in trouble. But in this case, this is not the way. This is not how it goes. So after queen a4 check, black goes knight b to c6. D5 is played, and it looks like white is, crushing black, right? But then black hit him with in a very beautiful move, the b5 move. Now, what happens if c catches b5? If c catches b5, we go bishop f5, and as you can see, it gets, oh man, it gets nasty. So it doesn't matter if the white takes on the c6 knight or if the b pawn takes on the c6 knight. Let's say with the d catches c6. If this happens, then we have the move bishop c2. So in this move, white cannot go queen catches b4, and he cannot go b3 to protect his queen, because if he do one or the other, like queen catches b4, then queen d1 is checkmate. Even if b3 trying to protect his queen, we still do the same thing, queen d1 checkmate. Bishop c2 is just a killer move. All right. You're probably wondering why not knight c2. Knight c2 is also a good move. If king e2, then we do get the move queen d3 checkmate. However, with that move with knight c2, most likely your opponent's going to want to go queen captures c2, and then we'll just go bishop captures c2. I think the reason why bishop c2 is a better move because it's just a more of a forcing move, because you might actually have an opportunity to actually mate that person, which is why I agree. All right, so after b5, what happens if queen captures b5? What about that one? Well, if queen captures b5, then we'll have the move knight c2 check. Now, if king d1, we can immediately just go bishop d7, right? And if king captures c2, then this would be a blunder because of knight d4 check, and he's also forking the king and the queen. So, and black will pick up this queen in no time. All right. So now, what about after instead of king captures c2, what about d captures c6? Now, if d captures c6, we can go bishop captures c6 check. Where we're actually going to win a queen. We can do this. Bishop captures the queen. It's not a bad move, and I'm pretty sure black will win this game because he does give up 3 pieces for the queen. Playing against a strong player, a very strong grandmaster like Eric Hansen or whatever, I'm pretty sure Eric Hansen will probably know exactly what to do in this type of position because he just understands position and stuff and material. So it probably mean nothing to him. But again, you can still do that and still win. However, from my research, there is a way better move than this. As far as taking the let me show y'all. There's a better response after bishop d7. So if d captures c6, right? Instead of going bishop captures c6 to give up both pieces, the best move from what a lot of people say is bishop g4 check. It's a double check, guys. We're checking with the queen and we're checking with the bishop. Of course, white is forced to take the knight, and then queen d1 check. After king c1, queen captures c1 check, king b4, queen captures b2 check, king a3, and then queen captures the a1, which is the rook. Notice that we're also threatening to take on a pawn on a2 so that we can control the a file as well. However, white will soon go a3, to prevent us from taking or really just protecting the white king from the black queen from having the a file, right? So black would just go a6, attacking the queen, and of course a no-brainer. White is going to automatically try to threat the rook and maybe threat the pawn and all, because he does have a nice pass pawn. But that's fine because we have queen e5 check. If king b4, e6, developing and attacking at the same time. King a4, which is actually a blunder because of bishop d1 check. And then obviously the only thing that you can see is that the only way that white can stop this mate from happening is if he goes queen b3. And of course, guys, this is not very pretty at all. and then white will resign. All right, so that's something you could check that out as well. All right, so let's go back. So what about, after everything we just saw, b5. So after we just saw all this, this whole takes and stuff. Now what if white just goes back to d1? Now if that happens, then we got bishop f5. If knight a3, preventing, knight c2 check, then we'll just go knight e5, which is another aggressive move. If knight f3, knight d3 check, he takes, knight captures d3 check, king f1, and then black will just take the pawn on c4. Now, if knight captures c4, then queen captures d5. Black will be better in this position, especially because we'll finally get the rook on d8. The king can't castle. This rook is pretty much out of play. This rook is pretty much out of play. We just have more space and we have way better initiative in this position. So black will be fine. However, in this position, white shouldn't take the pawn on c4. He probably should play something like queen a4 check. Now, if this happens, we could go queen d7. Yes, the queen can go c4 or capture the pawn on c4, but then even after rook d8, this pawn will be lost, and again, black is still better. So if he does take, then black would just go bishop capture d7, and if knight captures c4, then bishop b5. Obviously, if b3, castle queen side, we're just hitting the pawn on d5, and then if king e2, knight captures c1, rook captures c1, and then rook captures d5. And again, black is black is still in a good position. He has the two bishop pairs and everything, and and I believe we are up a pawn. Yep, and we are up a pawn. To be honest with you, we are up a pawn, if I'm not mistaken. 5, yeah, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we're up a pawn. So black has the advantage, but white will have to fight for a draw if necessary, if he has to. So yeah, so pretty crazy. So all right, let's go back. There's something I wanted to show y'all too. Another one. I just want to show y'all something really quick. E4, D5, E captures D5, Knight F6, D4. I believe it's Bishop G4, F3 here. C4, E6. He takes Knight C6, D5, and then Bishop C5. This is another variation, guys, that you don't normally see in books and everything, but this is something else. It gets crazy. The thing about this position is if D captures C6, right? We do have the move Bishop F2 check, which is something that you can play. If king captures f2, then queen captures d1, and you pretty much win the queen. However, guys, this is a variation that I would say, like, if you're playing like those hyper bullet, like those 30-second or 15-second bullet type, these are type of stuff you could play. A lot of times your opponent would take the piece and won't even know that they lost the queen, like this one happened. So that's all I'm saying or whatever. However, if you're playing like a bullet chess or whatever, or things like that, however, I do recommend, don't if you play if they play d5, obviously I wouldn't recommend just trying to sacrifice a whole knight or whatever. But if that's the case, maybe knight b4 could be something that you can play or whatever, where you're threatening knight c2. However, let's see what the engine says about this one. Yep, even the engine says knight b4 as well, if d5. So yeah, so I agree exactly the same way. And then you could just take this pawn on e6. So a lot of variation, as y'all can see, guys. I have a lot of variations with that. I pretty much went over a lot of this stuff. A lot of stuff is just self-explanatory stuff, but it's just a lot of stuff. But But anyway, guys, I hope you actually enjoy, this the Gambit, the Scandinavian Gambit. There's a lot of stuff on there. This is actually one of the gambits that I am working on in the Maurice Bishop Chess University. So definitely for all y'all that's on there, definitely, actually y'all get a notification if it's done or whatever, things like that. So it should be fine. But anyway, guys, for all y'all that want to learn other new openings or want me to do a video on new openings, definitely go on my community page and definitely comment. I know this was one of the openings that they wanted me to do on the Scandinavian Gambit. The other one is the Elshad Gambit, and the other one is the, it sounds like a Hawaiian Gambit, which is pretty crazy, but I'm gonna be excited to do that one. I can't wait to do a video on that one because I actually have a few things on that, and it's called the Keone Hiva Gambit. Alvaro, shout out to Alvaro, shout out to Anastasio, Martin Rodriguez, and shout out to Ethanol Haynes. Ethanol Haynes wants me to do on the Eurosouth Gambit. Alvaro wants me to do one on Keone Hiva Gambit, and then Anastasio Martin Rodriguez wants me to do it on the Scandinavian Gambit. In which, Anastasio, you got your video for the Scandinavian Gambit. I noticed a lot of stuff that I talk about. And honestly, I'm probably gonna be doing more videos on the Scandinavian with different variations as well. So definitely like my video, guys, share it, subscribe me, turn on your notification bell on so that y'all can get a reminder of my new content every single time. All right, because I'm posting a lot of things now. All right. The next video that I'll be doing most likely is going to be the Keone Hiva Gambit, and the other one is going to be the Eurosov Gambit as well. So again, for all y'all that comment below, turn on your notification bell on. If you have any other content y'all want me to put on or create or whatever, let me know, guys, so I can actually do that for y'all. I'm here for y'all. All right. So again, like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. And also, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. All right, guys. Peace.